Greetings YouTube, Sega Zombie here. Oh, where's time gone? My god, here's me saying in my last video that I'm going to be more consistent and do a few more. The last 3 or 4 weeks flown by. I've been busy guys, busy with life. We'll start off with this retro waffle. Busy with life, loads going on. I've got loads to organise, plan with the big move. Now, I'm a bit gutted, guys. I was hoping to go to Blackpool, the big YouTube meetup, the infamous Blackpool. I was hoping that this year would be my first year in going. I'm moving house that weekend. Absolutely gutted on that one, guys. Yeah. Well, I was going to really say there's no way I can get out of it. We're moving house. Next year, guys. Make sure you all have a drink on me. Yeah, what else is there? Oh, the Mega PC. Don't worry about that, guys. That is still happening. I've been trying to source a few little bits and pieces. They're en route. I'd imagine now, because the house move has been brought forward by a couple of weeks, I may have to put that on hold now until I move house. But we'll see how that goes. I wanted to do a video because it's been a few weeks again, just to give you guys a bit of an update and what's going on, and show you guys what I've picked up, because even though I said I'm going to tame it down, not pick up so much, there's quite a bit again to show you guys, and I don't want it to build up too much. And also we've got a very special mega haul, which I've put in the title, which we're going to show right at the very end. This has been an ongoing haul from a real good friend of mine, a retro brother, who set this up. I hope I've included most of the games. I've tried to include all of the Sega. There's some really tasty Sega in here, guys, so I'll show that right at the end. First up, I've done a bit of a Tootie UK. I went into CEX or Sex or whatever it's called. Now, this is a shop I don't really use often. I've seen all the debates on YouTube and what have you. You know, at the end of the day, guys, it's a shop. You know, and as Tootie says, you've got to play the game. Now, I've been in it a few times before. Do you know what? I've never really bought much from there by going into store, that is, because my local store, the queue goes out the door, man. You know, I haven't got patience. I don't like standing around waiting. But just off by chance, I went in there and I picked up a couple of games. There weren't much of a queue. Really nice staff in there. I spoke to a guy. I noticed that there was a few Mega Drive games behind a glass cabinet. I asked if I could see them. He said, mate, we've got loads in stock. That's just a few. Would you like to go through the database, have a look? I was like, yeah, of course. Unfortunately, the games I was interested in, which weren't many to be honest, had no manuals, so I didn't get any Mega Drive games, but I did get a couple of Xbox original games, and I got myself Toe Jam and Earl 3. I think this was about £6. The guy at the counter did said that it's actually gone up in price and they hadn't increased it. I've still got the receipt in there, but it's in lovely condition. It's a game that I've wanted to add to the collection. I've got a small original Xbox collection, just trying to pick up the exclusives really, and the Sega stuff, because I do like the original Xbox. It was a machine I had back in the day, sort of after the Dreamcast really. So yeah, there is Toe Jam and Earl, and like I said, it was about £6. And oh, this one's still got the sticker on it. I got Midway Arcade Treasures 2, one of these compilations. I think I've got Treasures 1 and 2, and I thought, well, I haven't got this one, and for £2 you can't go wrong. Again, it's got the manual, it's in good nick, so you know, well chuffed with that. Nothing wrong with a bit of CX, as Tootie would say. And moving on swiftly, we've got an eBay purchase, and that is Assault Suit Lenos 2. Now, I played the original one of these on the Mega Drive, a great little game. I didn't realise there was a sequel. Look at that, it's all in nice condition. I didn't realise there was a sequel on the Saturn until my good old Saturn mate Pete Coombs was telling me about it. Yeah, it's a really great little run and gun mech style game. Loads of carnage on the screen at once. I'll put some footage up if I can in the corner to show it playing. But yeah, really good game. And for Japanese Sega Saturn, it's not expensive. I think I paid less than £20 for that. So really chuffed to add that to the collection. Next up, what have we got? Mickey Hackney. I bought some games off him last month. He's found me a few more. And we've got a Blue Spine. First up, a lovely Blue Spine, guys. Nice condition, this one. Really good, Nick. I thought I had this, to be fair, but I didn't. So it's a Blue Spine to add. Taz in Escape from Mars. Never a great fan of Tasmania, but you know, it's a Blue Spine and it's got to go in the wall. And next up, we've got the original Taz. I'll show that one first because I made a blunder here. On my retro, that's not Retro Collect, is it? It's a Retro Collection app I have on my iPad. I obviously hadn't kept it up to date, and I actually do have this game already. But you know, I can do a trade on it. It's in fair condition. I did swap the case. This isn't the case that Mickey gave me. It's a little bit beaten up, this one. It's just a spare case I had hanging around because I replaced the case for my Taz. Actually, no, this was the Taz case, my original, and had a split. So I swapped the cases over. Mickey's was in slightly better nick than mine, so you know, that will just be trade fodder. More than happy with that. And then finally off Mickey, we've got the Flintstones. A game, again, I thought I might have had, but I haven't got it. It's got no manual. But I can live with that. I'm sure it's not a rare game. It's got a little bit of sun fade, as you can see, but he literally chucked that in for me, so you know, I couldn't say no. And then to top it off, he sends me some free gifts. He sends me Samurai Spirits for the Neo Geo CD. I used to have nearly a full set of Neo Geo CD a few years ago. I sold it up. Probably wished I kept hold of it now, because like everything, it would have been worth more money, but I got a good price for it and for what I'd been collecting over the years, and I used that to invest into the Sega wall. You know, it's when I decided that I wanted a channel mostly on my Sega collection. So that was a free gift off Mickey. That's awesome, mate. And then also he sent me Return of the Jedi Atari box with the manual but no game, so I'll have to track that down. And he also sent me a Pac-Man instruction booklet. I can't remember, guys, if he sent me this time or with the last lot of games, so I thought I'd better show it, but that was a free gift from Mickey. So awesome, thanks Mickey. He said he's going to keep an eye out for me on Sega stuff, so keep them eyes peeled for me, mate. Yeah, next up, what we got? Oh, I done a trade, which is nice. I haven't done a trade in a while. I put a few bits and pieces up on Galaxy Sega that I said, you know, I'd be willing to trade or sell. And Dave McShane got in touch and he said, Scott, I'll take the, what was it, the Lethal Enforcers empty box I had. It was just the outer box and the disc. He said, I'll take that off your hands. Fancy a trade? And he showed me this a while ago. And we traded it for this, which is a Mega Master 2 arcade stick. Kind of micro switched on there, I believe. I'm not convinced about those buttons, but it's funky looking. And once I get enough joysticks, pardon me, and pads and stuff like that, gonna do a bit of a comedy video. I've spliced some stuff together on, you know, the history of the joystick, the arcade stick, and there's just some absolutely unbelievable designs out there. I thought it'd be nice to put a video together and have a laugh about that. So that will go into the collection of the arcade sticks and pads. And then he sent me that, and he also sent me a blinding geezer. He sent me Jimmy White's Whirlwind Snooker. Now, I put a post up a while ago, as I often do, about blue spines. This is one I needed, so he'd obviously seen that, and he sent me this for free. So wow, absolutely chuffed with that, mate. Being sent a blue spine for free, that is absolutely brilliant, mate. I'm over the moon with that. But sticking on themes with controllers and pads and the like, Dan on Retro Realm was selling his 32X, not 32X, Amiga CD32, sorry guys. He was selling his whole collection. I think again, he's like some of us do, he's refocusing, he's, you know, wanting to collect just for certain systems, so he's decided to sell all that. An absolutely awesome collection. I've never seen that many Amiga CD32 games and all that in one bundle like that. But he had some pads, and I've got the Amiga 1200, which again, a future video. Once the move happens, guys, there's going to be loads more videos. A future video, I'm going to show off my Amiga 1200 with all its upgrades and everything. But I noticed playing some of the CD32 games and the high-end games requires having a CD32 controller. So on investigating on eBay, as you do, and Google search, these controllers, the original one, I don't know if you've seen it, I'll put a picture up if I can, is awful. Absolutely awful. I had an Amiga CD32 and it's a really low quality controller, but wow, they're going for absolutely crazy money. And I thought, wow, there was a third party one which I was really interested in. The Competition Pro looks just like the Mega Drive version, but for the Amiga. And again, absolutely crazy money. And I thought, I'm never going to get one of these pads. Until Dan put his collection up on Realm. And I noticed that he had this, a boxed boomerang pad. Now, I know this has not been given great write-ups. He's assured me the pad's not as bad as people make out it is. Yeah, it's pretty much like a standard Mega Drive pad. The buttons and the D-pad is very clicky. You get these little random bits that can clip on there. Interesting. Sort of like a not real analog stick. Push this one in and you get like a little arcade stick. It's a novelty thing, and it allows me to play the games as intended for the CD32. So I picked that up. I think that was about 20 quid. May have been 25 with postage. That Dan done that for me. I'm happy to pay that just to get to play these Amiga CD32 games. So yeah, that's that. I can't get that in the box properly. And on the same thread, a guy called Michael. Oh, I haven't written down your surname, Michael. Apologies for that. But Michael, he come onto the thread and he went, Scott, if you're really after a pad, I can get you a custom one. The guy's obviously really clued up on his Amiga and mods and things like that. And he's sent me this to try. He hasn't taken any money off me yet. He said, Scott, give it a go. See how you feel with this. And that is one of these. Now, with the advantage of this one is you can program the buttons to how you want it. It's in the shape of a SNES pad. It feels absolutely lovely in the hands. Nice build quality. The KTRL-CD32. It's got an instruction pamphlet in here. Loads of instructions in how to use it. I think these are kits that he's got off a certain site, and he's just built them himself. So that is absolutely fantastic. I haven't had a chance to set my Amiga. I keep meaning every weekend But with this move, my life at the moment is just packing boxes, sorting sheds, clearing gardens, you know, all the stuff I really hate, guys. I just haven't had much time for gaming. I've been determined to film this video this weekend just so I can get a video out. And you know, and to have a chat, you know, it's been a while since we've had a chat again. So yeah, moving on. And then we've got, oh my God, David Jamieson. Now, I meant to include this on my last pickups video, but I'd left it in the box. Now, this guy, David Jamieson, he's one of the admin on Retro Round with us. Great guy. My kids love him. They think he's brilliant because he sent enough peanuts, you know, the polystyrene peanuts, that, you know, they done an act of Frozen in the living room when that turned up. I'm going to put a picture up now. There you go, guys. All that for this ultra rare game, Beast Warriors. I'm joking, by the way, guys. This is a pretty poor game. It's not rare, but I just think that David just wants to get rid of all these peanuts. It's got no manual, but he sent this to me for absolutely nothing. So not only did he send me a free Mega Drive game, he entertained my kids for the afternoon with the polystyrene peanut packaging. Which was absolutely great, clearing that up, mate. Brilliant, really like that. Yeah, and he sent it to me for nothing. So I was entertained, the kids entertained. Then we cleaned it up. Brilliant, mate. Over the moon with that. God, I've got such a sore throat. I'm sure I'm coming down with something. I can do without that with all the work I've got to do. But what's next, guys? Moving on. Oh yeah, something that don't do very often. I see them on Facebook, on the different groups, and that's these auctions. People will do an auction. They set a time limit, and you just bid up by £1 in the comments. And there's a load of Mega Drive games going on there. Nothing particularly special or rare. He did have some nice titles, but I had those already. But I noticed he had a few titles that I do need to get, and I wanted to get them at the right price. So, this was Gavin Lamb. Awesome, Gav. He sent me some games that these were all individual bids. So obviously I bid on each post. Once that time's up, he was then posting another game. I can't remember what order these were in, guys. Let me just get these a bit closer. But a game I was really interested in getting, because I was shocked that I didn't have this in the wall. I'm convinced I've had this game at some point and it's just gone, or I've traded it or lent it out. But that is Super Hang-On. Now, I know you can get it on one of the Mega Games, but I wanted the standalone Super Hang-On. Yeah, guys, I really wanted to add Super Hang-On to the collection, standalone. You know, as I said, I've got the Mega Games version of it. But such an iconic game, such an amazing game, Super Hang-On. I got that, and again, it was a few pounds, like £4 or £5 I won that for. These are in fantastic condition. Next up, Eternal Champions. Now, I paid a little bit more for this. It's the special collector's edition. This was the most pricey one out of them all. It's in absolutely glorious condition again. It's even got the special edition, has the special moves card. So it's got like the all the special attacks from the characters in the game. A little bit of genuine wear to the manual, but you know, I can live with that. And yeah, all in lovely condition. The box is in A1 condition. Let me just see if I can get that back in now. Oh, which I can't. It's very difficult. There is a little catch here for it. There we go. We got there in the end. But yeah, in lovely condition. I think this was about a tenner, this one, or just under £9. I've already got Eternal Champions, but I was shocked to see that it didn't have a manual and it isn't in the best condition. So that's an upgrade. And to get the special collector's edition, really chuffed with that. Next up, there's a series of games that I did enjoy on the Amiga, but never really played them on the Mega Drive, and that is the James Pond games. James Pond 2, codename Robocod. Again, in absolutely lovely condition for an EA game, because I tend to find that these, when you pick them up, can be a little rough, but that is in really top condition. Hang tab, as you can see, and again, this was just a couple of quid. Absolutely brilliant by that. I think I was the only person to bid on it. And then next up, another iconic classic. Again, I think it was the Amiga I played this. I've never played the Mega Drive version. I'm not Flashback's favourite fan. Then there are a series of games that I'm not really into. I just found them a bit tedious. They're a bit frustrating to play, the backwards and forwards, and you die really easy. But Flashback, it's in absolutely mint condition. Still got the Sega seal stuck over a label there, but it's absolutely minty, guys. That really is in great condition, and again, a couple of pounds. And then my little girl, she absolutely loves Wiz and Liz, and someone suggested that I get this one, and that is Pugsy. Another Side Notice game. Again, I'm going to say it again, guys, it's absolutely in mint condition. These really are stunning condition. I think this was £6 or £7 I paid for it, which, you know, this isn't an expensive game, but to get it in that condition, I'm really, really chuffed with that. Again, I'm hoping the kids like this one. They really, really enjoyed Wiz and Liz. So we're going to give that a blast. And that is absolutely awesome, Gav. Really, really chuffed with those, mate. Over the moon. And that brings us on, guys. Now, the Mega Haul. Here we go. I'm just hoping I've got them all, because what it is basically is, quite a while ago now, my mate Lee Thornley is a really good mate of mine, Lee. I've known him now for a few years on Facebook. He helps run Retro Round with us. Real top bloke. And we help each other out. He lives up towards the Midlands. Well, he lives up sort of like north and Nottingham. I'm right on the east coast in East Anglia, and you know, we'll help each other out. If there's something local that he's after, he's really into like vintage micros and stuff like that, Spectrums, Amstrad, Commodore, all of that sort of stuff. He loves it. If bundles come up or he buys something locally from here, he'll either send them people around here, or I'll pick it up for him and post it. There was a time when I've even drove all the way to Nottingham and taken Lee loads of stuff. Really, really great guy. It's really what this retro scene's all about, helping each other out. Really, really top bloke, and he's helped me out no end. He got a big haul a while back now of Sega. There's some absolutely killer titles in there. And being the top man he is, he put all the games aside that I needed. He let me pay him off in bits and pieces, pay for a certain game, he would send it. And this has been ongoing for months, guys. And finally, he sent me everything now. Oh, it's bugging me because I know I've bound to have forgotten things. These are the games that have stood out that I definitely remembered that he got me. Let's get underway, guys. I'm rambling on. Let's show you what I've got. So first up is Starblade, Namco Starblade. Great game. I've been playing this loads on the Mega CD. As you can see, the disc isn't in there. It's still sitting in my Mega CD. So with a little bit of time I have had recently, I've been playing this lots. Great game. On-rail shooter. Highly recommended, guys. Source this one on the Mega CD. It's also out on the 3DO. So yeah, check it out, guys. Starblade, awesome game. Really chuffed with that. And sticking with the Mega CD, next up we've got Keo Flying Squadron. Again, in awesome condition. You know, if Lee hadn't have done this deal with me, I probably wouldn't have been able to get some of these games, as you're going to see, guys. So yeah, Keo Flying Squadron. in awesome condition. Barely touched the manual, you know, really chuffed with that. And then we'll move across from the Mega CD onto the Sega Saturn. And first up, these are big hitters, guys. We've got the last Saturn PAL release, and that is the survival horror game Deep Fear, a game I really enjoyed back in the day. I can remember going and buying it, shedding a tear that it was the last Sega Saturn game. Was gutted that Sega had pulled support in the machine in the UK, but it's in lovely condition, guys. The prices Lee has done me on these are absolutely amazing. Blow me away, Lee, with the stuff you've helped me out here. But Deep Fear, and then we've got Enemy Zero, which is one of these lovely double pack with the cardboard case. Again, I want to be careful with this because it is in lovely condition. We've got the two discs. This one's a little ruffled on the edge, but I'm sure I can get a replacement case. I know I've got some replacement cases for these, but look at that, in absolutely glorious condition. Yeah, it's a real shame. I reckon that's just where it's got ruffled on the box. The box is still sealed at one end, which is lovely to see. And then again, the other discs in there. Absolutely chuffed with that. I need to get a protector for it, just to keep it. Yeah, that is where that case ruffles. So I'm going to put that back in the way it goes. There you go, and they slot straight in. Yeah, it's where the tab is catching the plastic sleeve and it's bending it. Well, we'll sort that out. But that is absolutely, can't complain at that. Lovely condition. And then the game that everyone's chasing on PAL or want to have in their collection, and that is Panzer Dragoon Saga. Look at that, guys. I've got it in one of these protective cases, but over the moon to get this back in the collection. I can remember back in the day, and this is a true story. I can remember it must have been right at the death of the Sega Saturn. Like I told you, I was always into my Sega Saturn. I loved the machine, and I can remember it was one Christmas or just after Christmas. Me and my sister went in town. I'd already spent the Christmas money I had, or most of it, but she hadn't bought anything. And we went into Woolworths, and they had a big sale on all their games, and they had a basket just full of Sega Saturn games. I pleaded with her to lend me her Christmas money so I could get Panzer Dragoon Saga. It was steep slope sliders, and another which was quite a generic game. But I can remember wanting this so bad. I got it for £15, brand new, in a Woolworth sale. I kept that in my collection for many years. But I did cash in on it a few years back, and it's one of those games, you know, I've only got a few games that I cashed in on and I really regretted, and that was one of them. So to get this back in the collection, it's all complete, guys. I'm not going to take it out of the plastic case because I think it's going to be an absolute pain. Yeah, it is. I'm going to keep it in there, guys. I'll put some pictures up if I can, showing it off, but it's in stunning condition. Really pleased to get that back in the collection. Over the moon. Awesome. But we don't stop there, guys. There's still more. Like I've been saying, chipping away at the Dreamcast, and Lee again hasn't let me down. He's at this same deal. He's got me 2 awesome Dreamcast games to add. The first up is Evil Twin. I did play this back in the day, but I'm not sure whether it was on the Dreamcast, because I'm sure if it was on the Dreamcast I'd still have it. It must have come out on the PlayStation or the PlayStation 2 maybe. But this is absolutely mint, guys. Absolutely mint. Like all this stuff Lee got me is in really good condition. And you know, it's not a cheap one. It's going up and up in value on the Dreamcast. One I needed. So awesome. Really, really happy. I'm a bit lost for words really, because these games are just so great condition, and to have them in the wall. And one of the last games he had to send me was this one, and that's Evolution 2. He sourced this one for me. Again, he done me a great price, because he knows that a few years ago when I lost my job, and to get through Christmas, because it was like, you know, one of the toughest Christmases I had, I got made redundant, and having children and that, the pressure's on you. To make sure your kids have a good Christmas, I sold my Evolution 2 on eBay, and that raised some money so we could have a bit of a better Christmas. Again, you know, back to work, on my feet. It was a game I was really looking forward to getting back in the collection. Lee sourced this for me. Absolutely great price. And really chuffed to have that back in the Sega wall, guys. So there's the Mega Haul. Some fantastic games. I'll try and put some footage up of what I can. Guys, I promise you, once this move is out the way in a couple of weeks' time, we're going to have lots more videos. I've got so many planned. So many planned. Some I've actually started working on, but I haven't quite finished. Some different creative stuff. Please hit that like button or dislike button, and please subscribe. Until the next time, I'm Sega Zombie. Goodbye.